Hello, Libra. Give me 1 second here. All right. So I'm starting with you today. So I haven't yet lit the candle. I've burned sage to clear the energy. Here I'm lighting our spirit candle for clearing, protection, and calling in spirit for the highest good. We'll go ahead and ring the bell to let spirit know that we're ready to begin. So we are beginning today with Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And I am starting with, since we have recently had a new moon, it's actually a new moon in Capricorn. New moons are about beginnings and new things coming in. So if you hadn't released anything at the full moon, I want to go ahead and do that. So I have part of a bay leaf here. I'm setting the intention for anything that you need to clear away, to release, so that you can welcome in with ease with this new moon energy. So anything that needs to be released, and we'll go ahead and burn the bay leaf and we'll start your reading. So I'll be pulling a rune and a charm as well. But first, let's see, where do I want these? I'm going to pull out your spread. I will be doing this in fast forward, just to save on time. And then when everything kind of comes to normal speed, we'll go ahead and go over your reading and then clarify with another deck. So let's go ahead and get started for Libra. Okay, Libra, this is a very big month for the month of December here. So the charms, we got peace and we have love. And then we have the rune. And the rune that we got represents harvest, patience, and perseverance. So, the heart of your reading, the first card out is the Empress. And when I got the Empress, the bottom of the deck was the Ace of Cups. So that is about love. Embracing this like a new love, so to speak. The Empress is about self-love and nurturing. She is the divine feminine. She is about fertility and all of that. So there is definitely this embrace, this new embrace of self-care and love, possibly, because in the past here we have the Ten of Swords. So this is your rock bottom here in the past, being kicked while you're down, stabbed in the back, just absolute pain. And you know, this is all the things that we have gone through that hurt us. All of these swords represent that, and tens represent a completion of that. So with this divine feminine coming out, and then right next to her is Temperance. So Temperance is where there is healing being done. However, I'd like to point out that on the crown of the angel is the symbol for the sun. So this allows us to know, or reminds us, that with Temperance, we can see the bigger picture. We can see ahead, and that's where that healing is. We can see that the healing needs to be done, or what's to come. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 major arcana cards here. 4 out of the 9 cards. Under the deck we have you. The queens in tarot represent how we perceive the world around us, our emotions and our intuition and how we perceive everything. And then the kings represent how we go about things in the concrete world, the moves that we make. So the queens are like our inside, our perception, and the kings are the action that we take, our outside. So we're starting off very beautifully with this nurturing and healing and seeing the bigger picture. You're in your Queen of Swords, you're upright, you're in your logical mind, you're in your element, so to speak. You're bringing in the peace and the love that you need. And the dogs are probably going to bark because my children are coming home. I've got twin boys that are going to be 16 this month, just coming home from the bus. So, well, that wasn't too bad. I was expecting a lot more barking. So then we go on to the Wheel of Fortune. So with the Wheel of Fortune, after, I'm going to go to this in a minute, but the reason I want to go to this in a minute is because I want to point out we have an Ace of Swords. So the Yads, the Hebrew Yads, represent the download. These little things here, they are a symbol to represent a download that we are receiving. There is also the laurel hanging from here. So this is like grabbing a new idea, grabbing our truth, grabbing, like this is like a whole new beginning here. And then right after that we have the Fool, which is also, the Fool is our journey. We're on the Fool's journey, and we start at 0 and we go all the way to the world. And if we complete that cycle, so to speak, then we begin anew. So with the Wheel of Fortune here, and then the new beginning afterwards, this is showing me that you were able to answer the Sphinx. Will ask a riddle. He will ask the same riddle over and over again until you're able to answer it. When you answer it, then your world of fortune, or your Wheel of Fortune, can turn again, and you can move on and complete that cycle. The wheel, as you can see, is a 10 as well. We have the ending of this, and this is an ending of a cycle if you can answer the riddle. The riddle is basically, if you're in this cycle, usually it's a long time of something kind of repeating itself, whether you're getting in the same kind of relationships or the same friends are doing, that you attract kind of like the same, and then we realize why we're attracting that. That's that aha moment. So this is this download that you're receiving, this clarity, this truth of, oh my gosh, that's why this is always going on. And a mentor that I kind of learned from, where she used this analogy of, if you You always put salt in your coffee because you don't realize, and then you realize, I'm putting salt in my coffee, not sugar. You're not going to go back to that and then every day continue to put salt in your coffee. You're going to stop with that realization. It's this download of, you don't go backwards. Once you have these downloads and these, it's not like you regress. That's when we start anew. So then this tells me that we would no longer be in the Five of Cups energy. Or for some, by completing this cycle, whatever it is that you're realizing, I need to temper out the impurities, whatever the impurities are for you. This is kind of a card of loss and grief. So you could be grieving whatever it is that you're needing to burn off with the impurities. However, I feel like it could be talking about, this is kind of what we've always known. These are the cups that we've spilled. It's kind of seeing the glass half empty, but we're not realizing, hey, there's two beautiful cups over here that are full. So with the Queen of Pentacles coming out in reverse and the Ten of Cups coming out sideways, I kind of left it sideways because when I clarify, that will give me more of an indication if this was wanting to come out upright or in reverse. We do have the Queen of Swords in the upright, so that can be representing you in your element. And the Queen of Swords also, does talk about cutting out things that are no longer serving us. So I guess I do want to heed this warning this reading with a bit of a warning. So I would say maybe at the end of the month, you go through, in the middle, you kind of go through this download and this new thing, and then maybe at the end, you could feel a bit lost at the moment, because you're starting over, so you're kind of feeling a little off. Changes, fives are about change, and changes are uncomfortable, so you're not really feeling, you could be feeling a little off here with the Queen of Pentacles. She is very grounded, and so I feel like you could be perceiving things a bit pessimistic and a bit ungrounded. So then this is where this is kind of tippy. So let's go ahead. The whole reading is about peace and love and patience and persevering that, and this harvest. It's big and it's beautiful. The end of this cycle and this download. You were seeing the bigger picture of, oh my goodness, so I think it just takes a little to get used to the new cycle of that change. So let's go ahead and clarify. So the Five of Pentacles is clarifying the Ten of Swords. So feeling abandoned in the past has brought you a lot of pain. This is a card of abandonment. It's a card of loss and lack and struggle. What's under the deck? Oh, look at there, the sun. The sun coming out with the clarity and the healing and the happiness and the joy. The sun is the happiest card on the deck. So we move on, here to the Empress. So, you know, being out in the cold and then the warming of the sun. So that cycle is over with as far as, you know, that feeling of abandonment or feeling alone, struggling, the painful, however it relates to your life and your situation. The Ten of Swords is a 10, so that's completing that. And there we have the Empress, clarifying the Empress. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And here we have moving to calmer waters there with the Six of Swords. So we are leaving behind what is no longer serving us, and we are moving on to, we're not even exactly sure yet, but we actually might here with the Temperance, having that foresight, seeing the bigger picture anyways, at least knowing that where we're going is obviously better than where we're coming from. Knowing that we deserve it here with this self-love. Absolutely beautiful. And this is why I use another deck to clarify, so that the same card can come out if it wants to. And there we have the Knight of Swords. So the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight. He is determined. He is on a mission. He is going to get it done. This is in your element. This is making that move. So having this foresight to go, going to take action and make changes with this, you know, this information, this clarity that I have. And here under the deck we have the King of Pentacles. He is the self-made king, the very grounded and practical, but very financially stable King of Pentacles. So this is, you're making moves, I feel, when we have the King under the deck. So that is when we're coming to make changes, how we approach life in the 3D or the concrete world. So you're charging in, and with the sun on your crown here, you're able to see the bigger picture and know the moves that you need to make. Let's go ahead and clarify some more. The moon is clarifying the Wheel of Fortune. So the moon has these as well. So the yads, the Hebrew symbol for that download, are definitely, there's a lot more, as you can see, in the moon card, because this is a major arcana. So that realization, this download of going through, trusting our intuition, facing our fears, and going through the waters of the moon card, of the moon energy, and realizing and answering that riddle. We got this. It's just like, oh my gosh, you know, I was unsure and I was scared to face my fears and I couldn't see things clearly in the shadow of the moon, but I got the download and I answered the riddle and I'm moving on. The I can't card is under the deck. So really feeling that we are in that self-imprisonment where we're always in our head having negative self-talk or feeling like I can't do this, I can't, you know. This is the download. You were able to realize that you were not in a sense of at fault for it, but you were in control of it. You're not really imprisoned. You can totally get out of the bounds. You can take off the blindfold. You can get yourself out of that situation, and that's exactly what you did. like that mental jail. So whether your riddle and the download was to stop the negative self-talk and love yourself and bring peace to your life, because we have two Empresses. So I feel like a lot of this is, finally I'm putting myself on a pedestal. I deserve to have good things too. I am not going to be abandoned. I'm here for myself. I'm not going to let someone stab me in the back over and over again. So we're no longer projecting our fears and projecting the ugliness that we think of ourselves. You know, you have these illusions or projections of we're in the clouds and it's foggy and we're not seeing things clearly. And there was another download. So this could be two realizations. One big one of, I see now that I can change this. And then you have this other truth moment of, I am doing this to myself. I am going to have success in this. I'm no longer going to project my fears or this negative self-talk onto myself. Let's see what's under the deck. Wow. And then the angel of judgment is blowing his horn. So all of those things that you've kind of sunk and died off of yourself, that you told yourself you're not good and all of that, and all of that is rising to the surface for judgment. Judgment is a rebirth card, a second chance at life. So it's this, all of these cups you're able to see what are in the cups, and you're like, well, that's not really me. I'm not a bad person, or, I deserve happiness and love. And, so it's like you're able to see what is in the cups, and that it's actually just the negative self-talk that you're telling yourself, or your fears that you're projecting. You're able to see it with the clarity of this truth sword. It rises to the surface and you see it for what it is. And by doing that, you can clear it out, and then we begin here with the Fool. Oh, all right. And there you are. I'm sorry, I was thinking this was the Justice card because of the scales, but this is actually the Six of Pentacles. This is an equal give and take. So only giving from our excess. So this is a new start of you realizing maybe you were giving too much of yourself and putting yourself last. This will be more of a healthy balance of, if my cup is full, then the extra I can give to others and help them. If my purse, my pocketbook, my pentacles are full, then I can give excess. It's also, it's not only a giving card, but it's receiving. It's equal giving and receiving. If someone is paying me a compliment, I can now, from my healthy mind, my healthy vision of these cups were wrong, I can take that compliment and say thank you. I can receive that love. That negative self-talk, this imprisoned jail that we put ourselves in, that is healing. Six is our balance. That's where we find that balance, and we can now equally give and take in a healthy way. boy. So there is that 10 that we have up here that we started with. Here, let me scooch back in. So this grief and sadness, I think here, now that we have this, because this is our past, our 10 of Swords that we started with, I feel like sometimes it's like we're finally processing everything that we've gone through. And so that's where we want to have that warning, or we want to watch out so we are not putting ourselves into the glass is half empty energy. We need to grieve that of what has happened to us, grieve all of the swords that we have had to battle, so that we can heal. Oh my gosh, you guys. The 8 of Swords. So yes, all of this swords, we need to grieve, you know, like we put ourselves in this self-imprisonment of feeling like I can't get through this. You know, maybe there is some therapy, some healing in that sense. So let's clarify the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I think I kind of want to clarify this whole row, and then we can kind of analyze it that way. Oh, great. I don't know if it was coming out, what way it was coming out. So we have the 6 of Wands. This is victory, success, and public recognition. So there is the laurel wreath that you get when you have the World card, just like there is a strip of it over here. I wish I could rewind the thing here to know, you know, it's kind of like this is coming out sideways as well. So the Hierophant. So the Queen of Pentacles, she is kind of the mother queen of, she's kind of, she could be the single mom, things like that. So some of the issues, like for some of you, this might be a pain or something related to a mother figure, because we do have 2 Empresses and the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse, and there is some grief and loss. And now I'm seeing actually that this is not the 10 of Swords. There's growth on here. This is the Wands. So this is dropping that heavy burden. So I think I got a little combobulated here when this fell on the ground, and I was seeing it as swords when I picked it up. So this is a 10, and this represents the end of that, to where you'll be able to drop this heavy burden. So there is some grief, sadness, and loss that you will be able to drop. You will be able to drop that heavy burden, this feeling that is weighing you down. And then that makes sense that this could be in the upright, because then we grab a ones, you know, we come in with victory. We did it. So and then the Hierophant can represent, you know, our traditions, and it can talk about, you know, like teachings, like someone that teaches us. It can also talk about challenging the status quo, doing it our own way, you know, kind of breaking that family cycle. So if the Queen is meant to be negatively aspected, that could talk about that, where we're not going to continue on, you know, that family cycle of pain and we're going to be victorious in that. Because then we end with the happy home card, the 10 of Cups, where it's kind of could go either way. So if we beat that and we break that cycle of whatever it is, you know, embracing our feminine, being a good mom, you know, whatever the, let's go ahead and clarify the 10 of Cups. Healing our inner child, you know, maybe from past hurts from a mother figure. I mean, my goodness, if this is a mother-related thing that we're, you know, the downloads and stuff, all of these cups could be terrible things that you believed about yourself. You know, if you had a mom who would tell you that you're not good enough, or you need to be more like this, or things of that nature. So you were never able to receive. You know, if someone were to tell you something good, if you heard all of that terrible stuff from a mother figure, that would be a very hard thing to overcome. And there is the Ace of Swords with the downloads right here. So yes, if you can see it and you grab that Ace of Swords, then you're going to save your happy home. You're going to save your happily ever after, your 10 of Cups. It's almost like having the laurel wreath there from and the download. It's like a little, that's what's going to get you on the road to the World card. Oh my gosh, and under the deck is the Sun. Beautiful. So you're in your element, the Queen of Swords. You're going to cut out what's no longer serving you, receive the downloads, and really change the scales to your life, the way you love yourself and take care of yourself. You're going to drop the sadness and come riding in victoriously. Peace and love. Patience. Harvest. And perseverance. I mean, unreal. Absolutely unreal. So please take this how it resonates for you. Whatever it was where you felt abandoned, out in the cold, the pain, being stabbed in the back, and now we're on this journey of self-love or healing our divine feminine. We're seeing the bigger picture, and we're like, heck yeah, I'm going in and I'm going to do the work. I face my fears, and I see now. I see all of these cups of sadness for what they are. I see the fear that I was projecting on myself. And no more am I going to give to those who don't appreciate it. You know, I'm going to only give from an overflowing cup. And by doing that, I can drop that burden. I don't need to put others before myself. That's not healthy. And if this is mother figure related, you're going to change your cycle as you know it for your family, for your future, for your mental health. And it's the very center, we have you grabbing the sword at the very end, and then we end with the Sun. It's you and your element and the Sun kind of bookending this reading. Very big month for you, Libra. Very big month here in December. I don't know even what else to say other than this is big and powerful. A lot going on, very healing. being able to drop that heavy burden and not project the negative self-talk or the fears or the things that we've been told, not projecting that onto our future, making sure we're giving only from our overflow, and also being able to accept and receiving help if we need it, receiving, you know, the compliments instead of throwing it. You know, sometimes compliments come in and we just throw them to the side. I don't believe it. Because this is the stuff I've been believing. All of this stuff on the clouds, all these false stuff. Congratulations. This is beautiful reading. I'm going to go ahead and just close it out here. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. If you feel inclined to hit the like button or subscribe, that definitely helps the channel. I am doing this full time now, so the more content I get out, the more people I can help, but I can't do that without your help of, with the likes and subscribes for this algorithm. So thank you again so much, and I'll see you next time.